Hi, I'm Shauna from Island Skin Solutions. If you're looking for an alternative to waxing and shaving, we have a solution for you. Our laser hair removal offers long-lasting, safe, and effective results. This month, we're offering 15% off of our laser hair removal packages, which are already buy 3, get 1 free. If you're interested in laser hair removal, contact us to set up your consultation today.
Got Medicaid? Paradise Dental's got you covered. We've got you covered from the moment you walk in the door with some of Saipan's best smiles. Medicaid covers your fillings, your extractions, and your checkups with no out-of-pocket expense. And Medicaid covers all of your x-rays without any additional cost to you. So remember, if you've got Medicaid, you're covered. Don't wait for a toothache. Call Paradise Dental today. Come here often.
Hi, I'm Shauna Brenfleck, nurse practitioner and owner of Island Skin Solutions and Wellness Clinic. We are Saipan's only medical spa offering a wide range of services to meet your unique skincare goals. We offer exclusive medical-grade skincare products that can only be purchased from a licensed medical professional. We also have the CNMI's only master esthetician, who offers new patient consultations that include a mini facial tailored to your needs. Schedule your consultation today to get started on your skincare journey.
Fighting intensifies. I'm Daria Albinger, Fox News. The war between Iran and Israel continues to escalate as more airstrikes have taken place in recent hours. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu joining Fox News for an exclusive interview with Brett Baer to discuss why they had to act as quickly as they did.
The intel we got and we shared with the United States was absolutely clear. Was absolutely clear that they were working in a secret plan to weaponize the uranium. They were marching very quickly. They would achieve a test device and possibly an initial device within months and certainly less than a year.
An IDF spokesman says over the past 2 days, it has killed 9 senior scientists and involved with the Iranian nuclear project. A manhunt underway for the suspect accused of killing Minnesota Democratic state legislators and her husband and shooting another state lawmaker and his wife. Fox's Matt Finn in Brooklyn Park, Minnesota.
Former Democratic lawmaker Melissa Hortman and her husband were killed. It is hard to wrap your mind around what just happened here. This couple innocently answered their door in the early morning hours yesterday to someone they thought was law enforcement, and they were shot and killed in cold blood. And right now, police say the man who's suspected of shooting Hortman and her husband and 2 other people is still on the run. Authorities say the suspected killer wore a mask and dressed like a police officer, even driving what looked like a police SUV. He went to the homes of 2 prominent Democratic politicians here in Minnesota and shot them and their spouses yesterday. Investigators say they are on the hunt right now for 57-year-old Vance Bolter for his connection to the shooting.
FBI offering a $50,000 reward in the search for the gunman. He was caught on surveillance in Minneapolis, and he's armed and dangerous, they say. America's listening to Fox News.
It is time to take the quiz.
It's 5 questions in less than 5 minutes. We ask people on the streets of New York City to play along. Let's see how you do.
Take the quiz every day at thequiz.fox. Then come back here to see how you did.
Thank you for taking the quiz.
A Republican U.S. Senator disagrees with a Trump administration directive to pause ICE raids on farms, restaurants, and hotels Here's Fox's Gernal Scott.
The president's decision to hold on illegal immigration enforcement came after posting last week that the operations take away good workers that farmers and employers find almost impossible to replace. On CBS Face the Nation, Arkansas GOP Senator Tom Cotton said many employers should not get a pass.
Usually it's unscrupulous employers who have large numbers of illegal immigrants working in their work sites, and whatever work site it is, whatever industry it is, ICE has to be able to go and enforce our immigration laws.
Border Czar Tom Homan has promised ICE enforcement at workplaces with high numbers of undocumented immigrants working, particularly in so-called sanctuary cities. Gernal Scott, Fox News.
California Democratic Senator Alex Padilla was removed and handcuffed from a Department of Homeland Security press conference last week, although all he says he wanted to do was speak out about immigration raids.
To be treated that way and to be responded to by saying, oh, we didn't know who you are, when it is literally written on his shirt or his jacket when he's proclaiming who he is, I don't buy it.
That's California Democratic Senator Adam Schiff on NBC's Meet the Press, who was also critical of how Secret Service agents at the event handled the incident. French President Emmanuel Macron is on his first trip to Greenland. The strategic Arctic island is coveted by President Trump. Once again, he said the seas around Greenland nor Greenland are for sale. Last week, however, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth said that the U.S. has a plan in place to invade Greenland and Panama if necessary. I'm Daria Albinger. This is Fox News.
This is Jason Chaffetz from the Jason in the House podcast. Join me every Monday to dive deeper into the latest political headlines and chat with remarkable guests.
Listen and follow now at foxnewspodcast.com
or wherever you download podcasts.
PHI is your local pharmacy serving customers in Cagman, Garapan, and Dandan since 1996. Shop PHI Pharmacy for all your prescriptions, and we even offer a large line of multivitamin supplements. Our Dandan location is open weekdays from 8 to 6 and 8 to 4 on weekends. Or visit our Garapan and Cagman locations weekdays from 8 to 6 and 8 to 1 on Saturdays. Check us out online at phipharmacy.com or follow us on Facebook. PHI is a locally owned independent community Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
It's a brand new day in the Marianas. Coffee's hot and we're full of promise. So say it on the genie and feel the glow. We've got the stories you wanna know. The palm trees sway, the traffic's light. Sunrise news, we're feeling right. Tune in now, don't miss your chance. Start your day with Island Dance. And good morning.
Good morning, Marianas! Holy cow!
Good morning, Marianas.
It's Monday! We are just getting started here. But how about that? Good morning. Take a look outside. It is looking mighty fine out there for all you folks out there. My goodness, thank you for joining us today. It is Good Morning Marianas. It is a Monday morning. It's 7:48 in the morning. And you guys are all caught up now. You got your news update for the morning that we have. We always get you the headlines about what's happening in the mainland and all that. And then we got you a little bit of the weather, and we're going to tell you a little bit about that. We got some guests coming in studio who are going to be joining us in not too long from now. We got the NMI swimmers. Looking forward to seeing them because that's going to be a lot of fun. They're getting ready to head off for the mini games out there in Palau this year. And they're actually going to be leaving at the end of the month. And we can't wait to see what they've got going on. Who are we sending? What are they doing? Am I going to knock everything down over here? Who knows? Anything's possible. So anyway, it's a good morning and happy Father's Day for all you guys. If you're watching out there in the mainland and if you're watching here in the CNMI, I hope you had a great Father's Day, whether you're a dad, or if you have a dad. I hope it was a great day for you guys. If you reached out to family who are overseas, over there in the mainland, over here, you name it, a different island, I hope you had time to connect with your dad, or I hope your kids connected with you if you're one of those dads, because, man, that's what that day's all about. Yesterday, we had a great little family day. Oh, my God, I put it the wrong way. Look at this. It's crazy. Yeah, there we go. Trying to adjust it on the screen and seeing how all that stuff works. Anyway, we had a great day as a family. I enjoyed it for sure. And, man, I'll tell you, it was a hot one yesterday, too. We got some family-style work at the house done. And no doubt about it, I'm telling you, I was sweating yesterday. Oh, but it's Father's Day. You shouldn't be working. No, I want to be out there working with those guys. My gosh, my kids are they're out there working. My wife was out there working, cutting some of the hedges. I'm like, all right, let's do this. I'm in. All right, well, good morning to you guys. I want to say hey to Luisa Cabrera, your MVP for baseball for sure. If you guys don't know her, get to know her. Wait till it's her birthday. You want to get her something nice because Luisa is holding it down for everybody out there. She says she's got a lot going in the badminton world. Should we try to get Nate Guerrero on your show? Man, that would be great. You know, we ended up just having the big Oceania tournament here. We should get Nate Guerrero in here, and I believe he'll be representing us at the mini games. I don't know if badminton's one of the sports, but should be. Nate Guerrero, man, not only can that guy pitch, that guy is one heck of a badminton player. I'm told he's one of the best that we've got here, and that's pretty awesome. Good morning, Dennis Matsumoto. Great to see you this morning. Thanks for tuning in again, my brother. Hope you're feeling great. Whoa, Lilo Calvo. Great to see you. Thank you for coming in this morning. Tobot Castro, the tint man from Dan. He doesn't do the tint anymore, but hey, that doesn't mean, well, that just means he brings more sunshine into your life every day. I think that's what it means. Bruce Camacho, good morning to you. Thanks for tuning in. And Sablon, good morning. Great to see you. Thank you for those Father's Day wishes. You are just the sweetest. No, great to see you this morning. John William Lesser Mwamwai, great to see you. Props to everybody out there for holding it down at public lands. By the way, if you are looking to get yourself a nice roadside plot for the Liberation Parade, not only is the Liberation Parade location different this year, you can't get your public land plot from public land anymore. No, because now it's going to be given out by Public Works. And I wonder why. I wonder what changed. Something happened for some reason, somehow. I don't know. But it is no longer public lands. Public Works is the department that you have to talk to now. If you want to hold down your spot on the side of the road, it's the first time they've done it, at least since I've been doing this. I'm curious to see how it works out. I hope they have all the mechanics down, because you're going to get some unhappy people if you're not ready for it. Really. I mean, I'm telling you, so all those people, a lot of people secretly have their spots taken care of right away. Oh, yeah. You know it. When people, when they all sell out in 5 minutes, that's people who already handed them out. I wonder if that's one of the reasons why they're doing it. But either way, it's going to be through Public Works this year. It's not going to be through public lands, because they're going with the people who have the right of way. Isn't that public lands? Isn't that Public Works? I just know that's what's happening. And so now you know. So you can get yourself your plot on the side of the road so you can really see what's going on for the parade. Oh, now you know. I mean, otherwise, you'd be out there waiting outside for public lands to open on the 23rd. That's next Monday when it opens. And trying to get your plot, and they're going to say, hey, sorry, you're in the wrong place. We got to head down to Public Works. And you would be SOL for Liberation, but you're all right. Hey, good morning, Josh Brazel. Great to see you, my friend. Victoria Moftas in the house. Great to see you. Mariano Iglesias. Really great to see you. By the way, I was just looking at the UN's ocean conference that they had. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. Because their logo looks an awful lot like OPD. Okay, hold on. Let's just find out. I want to pull it up for you. I want you to see it, and you guys judge for yourself. Did they copy what we have going on for our? Here it is. It's the Sustainable Development, the UN Ocean Conference. I'm just waiting for it to pop up on the old screen. Let me get the share screen going for you guys. All right, you can see it up there in the top, right? United Nations Ocean Conference. That's what that is right there, right? Now let's look for CNMI OPD. Bam, bam, bam. Where are you, CNMI Office of Planning Development? There you are. Okay, you be the judge. There's the OPD. It's not a perfect, but look, they're pretty close. I'll tell you what though, the ordering of the color is the same. Look at that. They got the same color. Now we've got little logos in there. Right, look at that. That is the same thing that we got going on. Is it coincidence? I don't know. Did the CNMI do something that the UN copied? Ooh, is it the other way around? Maybe. But I do know that they're both there. They are both similar, like ridiculously similar. They're the same. Only we have the cool looking little logos on ours. So there you go. I just spotted that. Angelo Villagomez was out there doing that the ocean conference. And I saw that in the background when he was up there at the podium. I'm like, well, that looks so similar to what we got. Yeah, the UN was inspired by our OPD. How about that? But really, it's color for color, every single spot. It's not just similar. It's the same freaking thing. CNMI, United Nations, same logo. Well, for the Oceans Conference. And no, that's not nice, France. That's pronounced Nice. Nice. Like the one you're not supposed to date, Bruce. All right, anyway, let's not get carried away. All right, but that's what's going on. I saw that over the weekend, and I got a real kick out of it. Said they didn't plan that logo very well. They planned something very well. But I'll tell you what, the one for the NMI, though, I mean, so look at it. I mean, see how small all those little pieces of pie are? Look at our pieces of pie are in there, and they're a little fatter. They're a little shorter and fatter. I like the pieces of pie we get from OPD because that means you're going to enjoy a lot more of it. It's all right there as part of our thing, right? It's all there. I think that part of our logo won't be getting too much love from the administration at the presidential level. But other than that, it should be pretty good. I like it. And I give props to our guys for coming up with something good. Holy cow, they're already starting to come in here. We're getting invaded by swimmers this morning. We told you about this. We're pretty excited about it, and they're making their way in. Come on in. Welcome, welcome. Oh, my goodness. They're all here. We got a tidal wave of swimmers just making their way in. All right, we're going to get those guys set up. We have so much to get to today after they're done. If you didn't notice, a lot happened over the weekend and last week and all that stuff. We're going to talk about our little leaguers. We're going to talk about those presentations that took place over at the Crown with the EPA and all the environmental stuff. We're going to talk about some signs that were there and all that. But before we do that, we're going to get to our swimmers. So we're not going anywhere. We are going to take a real quick break to make sure that we can get them all set up here to talk about what's going on for the mini games. So you guys don't go anywhere. We're taking a break. We'll be right back.
I'm Shauna from Island Skin Solutions. If you're looking for an alternative to waxing and shaving, we have a solution for you. Our laser hair removal offers long-lasting, safe, and effective results. This month, we're offering 15% off of our laser hair removal packages, which are already buy 3, get 1 free. If you're interested in laser hair removal, contact us to set up your consultation today.
Got Medicaid? Paradise Dental's got you covered. Got you covered from the moment you walk in the door with some of Saipan's best smiles. Medicaid covers your fillings, your extractions, and your checkups with no out-of-pocket expense. And Medicaid covers all of your x-rays without any additional cost to you. So remember, if you've got Medicaid, you're covered. Don't wait for a toothache. Call Paradise Dental today. Come here often.
Hi, I'm Shauna Brenfleck, nurse practitioner and owner of Island Skin Solutions and Wellness Clinic. We are Saipan's only medical spa offering a wide range of services to meet your unique skincare goals. We offer exclusive medical grade skincare products that can only be purchased from a licensed medical professional. We also have the CNMI's only master esthetician who offers new patient consultations that include a mini facial tailored to your needs. Schedule your consultation today to get started on your skincare journey.
Welcome back. It is 8:01 in the morning, and you know what that means? Normally that would be a news update, but instead of a news update, I got a cool update for you because we got the folks from the NMI Swim Federation. They're going to be representing the Marianas all around the world, but actually they're going to be going to Palau first. I think that's what's coming up for us with the mini games, and we're really excited to have them in studio. So please welcome our swimmers, our champs who are going to be going off and representing the Marianas overseas. You guys, welcome. Thanks for coming to the show this morning.
Thank you. Hello.
Now, normally these guys are doing other stuff, like they're in class or they're in practice or they're doing something. Probably not getting up early and watching the show in the morning, but that's okay. We'll take it for you guys this morning. Let's start with this. Let's tell everybody who you guys are. Just tell us your name and where you guys go to school. And don't be afraid to talk loud.
My name is Sari Barman, and I go to Hopwood Middle School. But I just graduated, so I'm going to be going to MHS.
Awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you.
My name is Maria Batallones, and I go to Marianas High School.
The Dolphins.
My name is Maria Guerrero, and I go to Mount Carmel School.
Right.
My name is Richard Zhao, and I'm currently turning a sophomore this year in MHS.
All right. Of course, dolphins can swim, right? This is great.
My name is Koki Watanabe, and I currently school at Marianas High School also.
All right.
I'm Kian Paharayaga, and I'm a college student, so I school off island at Minnesota at Macalester College.
Oh my gosh, Minnesota. Does the water, does it thaw out or is it always frozen?
It freezes during the winter and it thaws out, but I swim indoors, so.
Nice. Well, how are you liking it out there?
It's pretty nice. I'd say the competition is of course different for swimming, but yeah, it's different from Saipan, so. Yeah.
Awesome. So now all of you guys are going to be representing the NMI in Palau?
Yes.
All right. Now, is it anybody's first time representing off island? No, you guys are all seasoned professionals. You got big NIL contracts and all that stuff? No?
No.
No? Speedo's not sponsoring you guys or anything like that? No? Oh, all right. Well, Speedo, look out. We're looking for you guys to take care of them. All right. So let's start. Maybe you want to tell us a little bit about what events are you going to be doing?
I will be doing IMs, long distance frees, and some fly sprints. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Also 5K ocean swim.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's going to be great. I mean, out there it's beautiful. Is it going to be in open water? Is it going to be? Oh, no
open
kidding.
Water.
No kidding. Do they have a lagoon like us, or are you just out there?
Is it?
No lagoon.
I don't know.
No? Okay. Well, that's exciting stuff.
Yeah.
Do you know what time of the day your ocean swim's going to be? Is it going to be during the sunrise, sunset, or kind of just heat of the day?
Yeah, sunrise.
Wow.
Yeah, early in the morning.
Have you done a lot of open water swims?
Yeah, we do it a lot here. Yeah.
Do you find it harder to sight though when you're doing it at that sunrise kind of time?
Yeah, the sun is very bright, so it's a struggle sometimes. Yeah.
You got to find those big old buoys that are out there,
Yeah.
those tetrahedrons. Big word for the day. That's 5 cents. All right. How about you? What do you got going on? What events are you going to be doing?
I'll be doing the breaststroke events, some long distance like the 800, the 400 and the 1500.
Oh.
And also relays and the relay for the ocean swim.
Oh, the ocean swim's a relay.
There's also a relay, yes.
Oh, so is that also the 5K?
It's divided into 4.
Ooh, how do they split that up? You go out and back, or somebody's waiting for you out at another buoy? Loops? Ooh, I like it. Very cool. All right, what do you got, Dolphins?
I'll be doing the butterfly events and also some long distance and also backstroke events and also the 5K ocean water.
Oh, but you're not swimming the 5K butterfly. No, my gosh, that would be awful. Well, at least sounds awful to me. So you're doing the 5K, you're doing the 5K, you're doing a relay. Is it a mixed relay?
Yes.
Okay, so that's pretty cool. That's exciting. All right.
I'll be also doing the breaststroke events and free long distance.
Man, I can't get the breaststroke. It's the kick. The kick's all different, right?
Yes.
Now, I'm a freestyle swimmer, and when we do those kind of swim events and stuff like that, you're the guy I don't want to swim next to, man. Because one, I probably can't catch up to you because you're too fast anyway. But if your swim is slow as me, and you're swimming the breaststroke, and you got that weird kick thing going on, I'm like, come on, man, I can't even swim next to you. This is terrible. This is terrible. But no, it's great. I've never mastered it. How long did it take for you to figure that out? How many hours and years in the pool?
I've been swimming since 6 years old, so maybe like 8 years.
Wow, no kidding. And what made you go for breaststroke as your is it your favorite, or are you just your best?
I think it's like just my best.
No kidding. Not plain old boring freestyle for you. Oh, all right. All right, what do you got?
I'll be also doing all the breaststroke events and I think 200 fly event. And of course, the 5K open water.
Whoa, man, this 5K, that's a lot of fun. We used to do it out here. Do we still do like that meek and mighty, like 5K? Man, I remember that. It was 1K, 3K, 5K. And the 5K used to just be like going out to PIC and doing all those loops around the buoys and all that. Where do you guys do that now?
We do it at Gumas. Oh, really? Yeah, we do it. We also do it at Gumas Soccer. And also at PIC stuff also, yeah.
That's great. All right. Now, how many, are you doing all the events? What do you got going on?
No, I'm doing like some mid-distance free, long-distance free, and backstroke, maybe some relays too.
No kidding. Now, did you swim all the way from Minnesota to get here?
No.
No? You did fly. Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds great. So, how many of you have been to Palau before? Ooh, one. All right. So, you guys, this is your first trip to Palau, but you have traveled with the NMI for swimming before, for other stuff. Does this event mean anything special to you? You don't have to speak at the same time. It's okay. You can go one at a time. What do you think? Does this mean anything more special to you when you're going to be swimming in the games?
Yeah, it's about swimming and competing against other countries, but I also think it's really fun to travel with my teammates and bond with them. Yeah, that's really something special to me.
Now, I know you're going to be going to MHS. A lot of you guys going to MHS. Where did you go to school when you were here?
I went to GCA.
GCA. All right, so Eagles.
Yeah.
But you guys, is there a lot of people swimming at MHS? Or do you guys just happen to be swimmers who go to MHS? Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
There's no school program, no school team or anything like that? No school practice? No kidding. Wow, man. So we had that when I was going to school, but we actually had a pool at the school too in Buffalo. So we had the indoor pools because it gets too cold in the winter and all that stuff. So what kind of training have you guys been doing to practice for this game? Have you been ramping it up and working more than you normally do?
I mean, only recently we've been, I guess, divided into groups, like especially people that are sprinting and doing distance. Yeah, so I feel like, yeah, we have been ramping it up a bit, but we're going to start like doing something called tapering, which is where we like do less meters and like yardage and stuff, and like kind of tone it down before the meet. So yeah.
Well, that's great. Now, when you're coming back, you're just back here because of the summer too. You got summer break from school.
So my mom lives here, but yeah, we're like moving. So this is like probably my last competition here.
Oh man. So tell me about how what that feels like for you, if this is going to be like one of your last competitions.
I feel like it'd be like a fun thing to do, of course, because I'm like competing for the NMI, and I've done it for like almost my whole life, I guess, like compete for the NMI. So I feel like this being my last one, I still like can't really like take it in yet until like I probably finish. But yeah, I feel good about it.
So when you're out there in school and out in the mainland, you told them that you're going to be coming back to Saipan and competing in these games.
Yeah.
What do the folks out there think about it?
I don't know. My coach and like teammates kind of like were surprised because this is like our off season, so they don't really expect us to be swimming this much and like working out like a lot. But yeah, I guess they're like looking forward to like my times and stuff and seeing like how I do.
Nice. So are you at University of Minnesota? Are you a gopher?
I go to Macalester College.
Nice. A big swimming program over there too?
Yeah, kind of. It's a private school, and we compete in the MIAC, so it's like only Minnesota schools in the like conference championship. So yeah.
Did you bring any of that experience back to help out with your teammates that are here?
Yeah, for sure. I've like made them do some like workouts that we've done there, and I think they're appreciating like the hard work. So yeah.
So what are those exercises or those warm-ups or the training laps or something like that? What is it that you guys like that he brought back?
I think the distance workouts, because we don't really practice distance, but with Kian's help, we were able to build our stamina with the distance workout he introduced us to.
Ooh, nice. Is there just because you're doing a lot more of it, or is there something else that you do differently?
I think like the training there is very different. So we have like, since we have a bigger pool there, we're allowed to like split into different groups and stuff. So I personally swim like the mid distance group because I swim like the 500 yards in the stays and then like the 200 back and stuff. So I mostly swim that workout. I introduced one of those workouts to the team here, and I asked my coach before I left if he can send me workouts so I can like look over it, and I was able to see like the distance groups workouts, because I'm not a distance swimmer like actually, but I'm swimming distance events, so I thought it'd be good for me and like my other teammates to swim it.
That's awesome. I mean, just the whole idea, I think the exposure and then bringing it back, learning new things from different coaches and all that stuff, and you figure out like what works best for you when you start to get older. Wow, you're just going to be starting high school this next year. You guys are already in high school and doing all this stuff. I mean, where was the first place that you went to represent the NMI when you were swimming?
Marshall Islands, micro games last year.
And that was your first time. So now all the hard work that you did to get to that, you kept it up. It wasn't like, woohoo, there's Marshalls. All right, now I can go get fat. No, you are still working hard and training with these guys. Do you think you're a stronger swimmer this year?
Yes, I improved a lot, more than last year. So I feel more confident now.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice. That's got to be so intimidating when you first go and see all those other folks when you get to the pool, like in their country's uniforms and everything, their island uniforms, and you're like, oh my gosh, right?
Yeah.
And now you're going to do it. Now you're the veteran. You're going to be the one that other people are going to be looking at and being intimidated by when they're doing their first time. How about the rest of you guys? I mean, you guys have done this before. None of this is the first time. Did all of you guys go to Marshalls? Really? Wow. And do you think that after you do Marshalls, and I know you worked really hard to get to there in the first place, do you think that you trained a little differently in the after the Marshalls to get ready for this? Do you think you did you want to just try to get better?
I think after Marshall, yeah, it definitely motivated me to try harder to get better times next time, and yeah, overall.
Well, have you guys? So here's one of the things I remember when I swam with a coach. One of the things that they were really saying is that, look, you got to do your race, and you got to go as hard as you can, practice as hard as you can to improve yourself, and that if there's other people who are faster, if you can't beat them, you can't beat them. But it's about focusing on your personal bests and trying to get PRs and all that stuff. Is that still how it is for you guys today?
Well, I think yes, because we barely have any like meets that are held on island. So a lot of our meets are like time trials. So it's mostly a race against our own time. And yeah.
So do you do virtual meets too? No, not anymore. Virtual meets would be like where it's like you are. Have you ever done one of those before? You know what I'm talking about? Okay, so a virtual meet. It's like, all right, so you guys come up with all the events that you're going to do for your meet, and then Palau's going to be doing it at the same time, and then you guys are going to put your times together to see who would have placed and all those different things. So no is the answer. There's no virtual meets. So and how do you guys train? Like, are you guys mostly open water, or are you guys mostly in the pool? And what pool?
We swim at the pool, Jeratan's house. There's like another team, I guess, that swims at PIC. And like our NMI team is kind of like our two teams combined. So yeah, one group like practices at PIC while like I guess we practice at Jeratan's pool.
Wow. So, I mean, that's what we got because we don't really have our pool anymore.
Yeah.
That used to be where I would be breathing chlorine and looking at that line at the bottom of the pool, going back and forth all the time. So does he have, I've been to his house. I don't remember seeing a whole bunch of swim lines out there. Did they make lanes and all that stuff?
Our coach like made like the bottom line and like the lane lines and like the flags and stuff. So yeah.
That's pretty awesome. Mm-hmm. All right, so it feels like the real deal. How long is the pool? Is it like 25 meters or something?
It's like 20 meters. So it's like not an official like size of a pool, but yeah, it's like we work with what we got.
Yeah, and you got to take the silver lining. What's the good thing about it? You get to really work on your turns.
Yeah.
So you guys might have more work on your turns than anybody else in the competition. So maybe that's an advantage for you guys. That really could be. That's pretty cool. What are you looking forward to the most? What's the most exciting thing about this event for you?
Probably meeting new people. Also, just like experience, looking at the pool, just swimming there, getting better times too. Yeah.
How about you? What are you most excited about?
I think I'm most excited for my breaststroke events because I want to see how much I've improved.
I think I'm most excited about seeing how much I improved as well because last year I wasn't really in the best condition, but right now I'm more ready, so yeah.
So what did you do? Did you do something differently to get ready for this one?
Yeah, I think I trained harder this time and the workouts got harder, so yeah.
Did you do any like workouts that weren't like pool related? Did you do like maybe push-ups, sit-ups, or weightlifting or anything?
I think we all did weightlifting, right? Yeah.
Nice. Awesome. What are you most excited about for this?
Swimming with the sharks.
Really? Which ones? The baby sharks, or are you looking at the daddy sharks, or what sharks?
Maybe white sharks.
Nice.
I'm also excited about about how fast I got, but I'm also excited about the friends that we're gonna meet there. Like, I have some friends back in Palau that swims in Palau, and I'm like really excited to like meet with them again and talk to them again.
That's great. And you guys haven't been to Palau yet, though, but you met them from other competitions?
Yes. Yeah, we saw them in other competitions, and yeah.
All right. What are you most excited about for this?
I'm excited like to see where this team has got, because I haven't swum with them for like a year until like just practicing. So I'm excited for that. Also just excited just to compete again. Like it's a privilege, especially here because we don't really compete. So yeah, I'm like happy that we get to.
But I think that's something that you nailed it. Just knowing that it's a privilege. It is a privilege to swim, to represent your islands. It's the coolest thing. Just to compete when you're competing for a flag. Since you guys have all done this kind of stuff before, do you feel like it brings the best out of you when you're competing? Yeah, you push yourself a little bit harder in those events and all that stuff?
Yeah.
All right, so here's another question. When you guys are swimming, we'll ask you guys all the same, but we'll start with you. When you're swimming and you're in these kind of events, are you paying a lot of attention to the people to your left or to your right at all, or is it mostly just about just going for your stroke?
Most of the time, whenever I dive, like just start off with diving, I focus on the people on my left or right. But then after like the first 25, I start focusing on my own technique, like just focusing on my pace. And yeah, like after the first 25, it's like just me in my own lane.
Yeah.
So our coach always tells us not to mind the people on our left and our right, but sometimes that's hard to do. But I think I still overcome that, and I just focus on myself as the race goes on.
Yeah, I also tend to focus more on myself because it's hard to focus on how I'm going to swim when I'm more focusing on people next to me. So yeah.
Sometimes I will focus more on myself, but most of the time I will like focus on the person in front of me, not like the person. So it actually motivates me to go faster.
Nice. Is that more like for open water stuff, or are you talking about like for in the pools? So when you guys are swimming, does your mind ever wander on other stuff that you're thinking about? Oh, you know what? There's that song, or like there's something else. I mean, is there anything that creeps in your head a lot? Go for it.
Especially in long distance, I think our minds wander around because like it's so long. You start thinking about other stuff. But if it's like 50-meter or a super short distance, I think I just focus on my own race and try my hardest.
Nice. How about you? Yeah, you're the longest swimmer, right? Because you're swimming in college and everything like that. Your mind never wander while you're out there in the water, while not during training, but even during an event?
Yeah, I feel like it really depends for me. I'd say like sprints are more of like I try to like pace with the person next to me or like try to go faster than them, of course. But like for longer distances, like everyone is like they take their lengths like differently. So I just try to like focus on a certain pace and like certain like stroking and stuff. There are signals that people do with like the counting number where if you're going too fast or too slow, like your coach will like probably signal the counter to like shake it or something. So I feel like in distance events, like it's easier to focus on yourself because of like how like like you're not the same as the other person, and like it's like very differently on how you take the race. But like sprints are more of like just like get up and go. And yeah.
So if you're not on the side, you're like one of the middle lanes or something like that. How are you picking up on those signals? I don't understand.
So like there's like a number that like for distance swimmers there's like counting. So for example, our coach would be like shake it. So if they shake it, that means that you're going too slow.
Your lane line?
No, like there's a counter that they put in the water to know like how many more laps you have for the distance.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, but you only see that at the end. So like when you're
you see it like the whole race.
Really?
Yeah.
Where?
Yeah, it's like for the 1500, for example, there's going to be a counter and they like count like how many laps you're doing, and like at a certain number, like they're going to make it red, and then that means that you're on your last lap.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
No kidding. How about that? I can't imagine 1500 in a pool.
Yeah.
That's a lot of turns.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. So if you're doing 1500 in a pool, are you really trying to get the most out of every turn?
Sort of. I mean, you don't want to slow down because of your turn and like your breakout. So I personally think that turning and like reaching the surface well is of course important, because if you don't, then you're gonna slow down by a lot.
Yeah, and there's limits about how long you can stay underwater after those turns now too?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, for sprints, it's easier to like stay underwater for a long time. But I guess for distance, it like makes sense to like breathe the first stroke and like I don't know, like kick off the wall kind of bad, but yeah.
Wow. All right, so when you guys are training and there's school going on, man, you guys just had exams and all that stuff too, right? Oh my God, I can't. So glad I'm done with all that stuff. But how about what's the training like for you guys? You're training every day, or every other day, every so many days?
Right now, since we don't have school, yeah, we basically train every single day. Like this week, we actually practice on Sunday, which is, oh my gosh. Since we don't have any more school, we do a lot of morning practices, and in the afternoon, a little bit of weight training and stuff.
When are you guys leaving?
The 26th.
All right, so you got a little bit of time. You got 10 days, a week and a half. What are you guys bringing with you? What's something special you guys are packing in your bag to bring with you? It's okay if it's a teddy bear or something.
I feel like electrolytes.
Yeah?
Like Gatorade powder and stuff like that, liquid IV. Yeah, I feel like it's very important to like stay hydrated and of course like have the salts and sugars to be able to compete. So I think that's an important thing for me.
Anybody else? You guys like have a special anti-fog for your goggles? Do you guys have a special something that you like to eat before a race or just after?
No, right.
Not really. I'm not picky with like snacks.
Wow, no kidding. Even so, there's no plan of like if you're gonna swim the 5K, right? It's like you're not going to eat a burger right before the race, right? So how do you plan on what you're going to eat for that day before you're going to do your 5K swim? Do you like wake up like a little extra early so you can eat something, or you can hydrate then before you get ready to go do the race? Or is it just, I just wake up and I just figure it out?
I just drink a lot of water, because if I'm going to swim for a long time and I like take in ocean water, my mouth is going to become like really dry, and it's also going to make me unmotivated to swim.
That's a good point. So, I mean, seawater might have electrolytes. How about you? Do you do anything special? On race day? No?
No.
You guys? You eat anything different? Is there any like secret stuff that you like doing? Like I like to have a peanut butter and banana sandwich or something, or like, is there any special nutrition thing? Gel packs?
Especially for distance, I like to eat a lot of carbs. Not too much, because too much carbs is gonna make you bloated and stuff, but I like eating a little bit of carbs because I get the energy to swim long and stuff. And maybe drink a lot of water also.
Mostly like the night before, or is that like that morning?
It's on the night before.
Yeah. Pretty cool. All right. Well, you guys, this is pretty awesome. Do you guys bring stuff to trade with the other swimmers from the other places?
Sometimes we have like CNMI pins that we trade. We did that last year or 2 years ago, where we like traded pins with other countries and stuff. But yeah. Some people do trade shirts, but yeah, it really depends on the person.
All right, well, cool. All right, is there any superstar swimmer from another country that you guys are excited to meet from this one? Or maybe that's you guys. Maybe you're the ones who everyone wants to meet. But is there anyone who's swimming somewhere that you guys have heard about, like, oh man, I really want to see that person swim because I hear they're really good? No?
Well, like the people we're gonna swim with is like our friends, so I think we're just excited to see like our friends.
Yeah?
Yes.
Nice. All right, well, that's pretty cool. All right, what do you plan on doing with swimming after college?
I haven't thought about that yet, but I don't know. I still have 3 years in college, so just gonna keep swimming.
Are you coaching at all?
No, I'm not. Yeah.
How about any of you guys? Are you guys coaching any of the little kids?
Occasionally.
Yeah. Nice. All right. You guys want to give any shout outs to anybody who's been helping you or anyone who's been supporting you through all this kind of stuff?
Coach Nisuko, our coach, and his wife. Coach Richard also for helping us. Coach Christian and Coach David.
David Palacios? David Roberto and Christian Villacruzes. Nice. Some good swimmers. Awesome. Do any of you guys do any of the multi-sport stuff?
No.
Just swimming. All right. That's good. Might be a good transition one day. Get into.
I do cross country
Ooh.
and track. I'm not really into track anymore, but I still join cross country.
Nice. Cross country, I think, is more fun than just track stuff. What you got?
I play badminton.
Oh yeah? How'd you get started with badminton?
My friends play, so they told me to come, and I got interested in.
Oh, I hear them whispering to you too. What are they whispering?
What's your cross country?
I don't do cross country anymore.
What?
No, now he's all into badminton. All right. How long have you? When did you start with badminton?
Just like 1 year ago. Yeah, 1 year ago.
Have you ever tried that while swimming? No?
No.
All right, it could be a new sport. Water badminton, yes. It's a slower game. It's not as fast. Have you guys ever tried water polo?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. It's hard to get the horses in the water. That's the thing. All right. Anyway, you guys, it was great. I'm so glad that you guys were able to come in and tell us a little bit about what you got going on, your coaches getting you through this. And you're going to be leaving in 10 days to go represent the Marianas in Palau for the mini games. And we're so excited for you guys. I mean, we're going to be cheering for you. And we're going to, if there's video feeds coming from there, we're going to share them with everybody over here so that they can follow you guys and cheer you on. So, hey, I'm your biggest fan. It doesn't matter to me if you guys win medals. Just do your best and see if you can't get a whole bunch of PRs while you're over there and personal bests. Maybe you set a new record for the NMI too. Who knows? But I'm excited for you. Thanks so much, you guys, for taking the time to come in this morning. And maybe I'll see you guys swimming by someday. All right? Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so that is man, that was a great way to start today. I get to have the swimmers for the NMI. They're getting ready to go represent us out there in Palau, and they're happy that you guys were here with them too. I'll just mute myself there for a second. We're going to take a real quick break. We come back, we're going to have more. We'll get you the latest news updates and more. So thanks for tuning in. Stick around. We'll be right back.
I'm Shauna from Island Skin Solutions. If you're looking for an alternative to waxing and shaving, we have a solution for you. Our laser hair removal offers long-lasting, safe, and effective results. This month, we're offering 15% off of our laser hair removal packages, which are already buy 3, get 1 free. If you're interested in laser hair removal, contact us to set up your consultation today.
Got Medicaid? Paradise Dental's got you covered. Got you covered from the moment you walk in the door with some of Saipan's best smiles. Medicaid covers your fillings, your extractions, and your checkups with no out-of-pocket expense. And Medicaid covers all of your x-rays without any additional cost to you. So remember, if you've got Medicaid, you're covered. Don't wait for a toothache. Call Paradise Dental today. Come here often.
Hi, I'm Shauna Brenfleck, nurse practitioner and owner of Island Skin Solutions and Wellness Clinic. We are Saipan's only medical spa offering a wide range of services to meet your unique skincare goals. We offer exclusive medical grade skincare products that can only be purchased from a licensed medical professional. We also have the CNMI's only master esthetician who offers new patient consultations that include a mini facial tailored to your needs. Schedule your consultation today to get started on your skincare journey.
Prediction. I'm Daria Albinger, Fox News. President Trump's promising peace between Israel and Iran as both Middle East nations continue to exchange rocket fire. Fox's Peter Doocy says Mr. Trump may also have stopped an assassination attempt on the life of Iran's leader.
A U.S. official is telling us that within the last couple days, President Trump did tell the Israelis to stop moving forward with a plan to assassinate the supreme leader. And President Trump is furthermore open to the idea of Vladimir Putin brokering peace between Israel and Iran based on comments the president made to ABC News. That is part of what he's getting at in this Truth Social post. He said, "We will have peace soon between Israel and Iran. Many calls and meetings now taking place. I do a lot and never get credit for anything, but that's okay. The people understand. Make the Middle East great again."
The president also said it is possible that the U.S. could get involved in the conflict. A search continues across Minnesota for Vance Bolter. The 57-year-old is accused of gunning down two state lawmakers and their spouses, killing one of the couples. Democrat Amy Klobuchar, one of the state's U.S. senators, says the attack was politically motivated.
Our delegation in Minnesota, from the most conservative Republican to the most liberal Democrat, we all joined together, Senator Emmer and I and others, and said we condemn this political violence.
Klobuchar was on NBC's Meet the Press. Hundreds of relatives of the victims of India's worst aviation disasters, one of the worst at least, are still waiting for their loved ones' remains. They were on Air India 787 that hit a medical college hostel just moments after takeoff on Thursday, killing 241 people on board and at least 29 people on the ground. America's listening to Fox News.
As America prepares for its 249th birthday on July 4th, Fox News Podcasts celebrates great Americans, highlighting well-known and everyday folks who've made their mark on the country in their own special way. Listen and follow now at foxnewspodcasts.com.
A Republican senator is not in favor of a Trump administration directive to pause ICE raids on farms, restaurants, and hotels.
The president's decision to hold on illegal immigration enforcement came after posting last week that the operations take away good workers that farmers and employers find almost impossible to replace. On CBS Face the Nation, Arkansas GOP Senator Tom Cotton said many employers should not get a pass.
Usually it's unscrupulous employers who have large numbers of illegal immigrants working in their work sites, and whatever work site it is, whatever industry it is, ICE has to be able to go and enforce our immigration laws.
Borders Czar Tom Homan has promised ICE enforcement at workplaces with high numbers of undocumented immigrants working, particularly in so-called sanctuary cities. Gernal Scott, Fox News.
Just wanted to ask a question. So why was California Senator Alex Padilla handcuffed and removed from a DHS press conference last week? The state's other U.S. Senator, Adam Schiff, wants to know.
To be treated that way and to be responded to by saying, oh, we didn't know who you are, when it was literally written on his shirt or his jacket when he's proclaiming who he is. I don't buy it.
Democratic Senator Adam Schiff on NBC's Meet the Press. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem said Padilla came toward her without identifying herself. French President Emmanuel Macron is on his first trip to Greenland. The strategic Arctic island is coveted by President Trump. Macron sat down with leaders from the island and from Greenland. Both say that neither Greenland are for sale or its waterways, for that matter. Last week, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth said there is a plan in place for the U.S. to invade Greenland if necessary. I'm Daria Albinger. This is Fox News.
This is Jimmy Fallon, inviting you to join me for Fox Across America, where we'll discuss every single one of the Democrats' dumb ideas. Just kidding. It's only a 3-hour show. Listen live at noon Eastern or get the podcast at foxacrossamerica.com.
PHI is your local pharmacy serving customers in Cagman, Garapan, and Dandan since 1996. Shop PHI Pharmacy for all your prescriptions, and we even offer a large line of multivitamin supplements. Our Dandan location is open weekdays from 8 to 6 and 8 to 4 on weekends. Or visit our Garapan and Cagman locations weekdays from 8 to 6 and 8 to 1 on Saturdays. Check us out online at phipharmacy.com or follow us on Facebook. PHI is a locally owned independent community Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care. All right, good morning, Marianas. It is 8:41 in the morning, and now you are all caught up with all your news from our hourly news updates. Now, we normally do it at the top of the hour, but this time we had the folks from the NMI swim team in studio with us. Wow, that was so much fun. I absolutely loved it. It was great to have all of them in here, and there's so many of them. Do you remember what it was like to be that young? My goodness. To know that they're going to be going out there and representing the Marianas over there in Palau for the mini games. What an amazing opportunity. It's not just some recreational opportunity. They are going to be swimming for the CNMI, and it's going to be great. Well, hold on. There's something going on. I got to see this here. Norman Del Rosario in the comment section saying something that looks pretty amazing. He says, big shout out to former NMI Blue Azuzu and MP United Football Club alumni Dai Padzewski on winning not just one, but 2 Emmy Awards. What were those Emmy Awards? You got to tell me more about this, Norman. That sounds amazing. Holy cow. That we've got somebody from the NMI won 2 Emmy Awards. I got to hear about it. I need to know more about it. Hold on. Let me see if I can't come up with a real quick Google search. Weekly morning newscast producer. Where does it say about the Emmy? I did see a post on Facebook about it right now. Well, I'm guessing that was you as well. He's a journalist with MLB Trade Rumors. Let's see. That's pretty awesome if that's the case. Here, look at this. Let me open it up. It's popping up over there on LinkedIn. Ooh. He's a producer for KATO TV. And that is outstanding. Congratulations. I saw the pictures of the Emmys. So excited to share that I won 2 Emmys over the weekend. These were 2 breaking news situations that required a lot of technical skill. Well, I'm opening up the full post. Communication, coordination, flexibility, and creativity. I'm so grateful to be part of the talented morning team at KATU that has taught me so much and helped me to hone these essential skills for successful newscasts. Looking forward to continue bringing our viewers the best coverage possible for the biggest stories in the Portland metro area. That is awesome. Congratulations. That is really something. That is incredible. Well done. National Academy of Television, Arts and Science. Yep, 2 Emmy Awards. No kidding. Congratulations, dude. That is outstanding. Here we go. I mean, we're looking at him right there. Shout out. Well done. Congratulations. Now, I didn't really get to know this guy too much because I wasn't coaching at that time or playing at that level at that time. So that's really cool. I used to live, they used to be our neighbors, though, before we moved over there on Capitol Hillside. But that is really cool. Congratulations. Way to go. That is CNMI looking good out there in the mainland. Congratulations. Hey, thanks for letting us know about that, man. That's awesome. Hey, speaking of, we just had the swimmers on. Who are going to be representing the CNMI in Palau. And Mariano Iglesias over there with Office of Planning and Development said, hey, OPD is preparing to construct an Olympic regulation swimming pool here in the Marianas, and we're in the process of finalizing. Hold on, where did it go? What happened to it? The comment disappeared. I was just reading it. Oh, there it is. By the way, OPD is preparing to construct an Olympic regulation swimming pool, and we're in the process of finalizing the plans and the approval process. Hopefully, if it all falls into place, we'll be in construction by September this year, and it'll be completed next year. Our swim team will have a new pool to practice and compete in. How about that? Hopefully, it's not going to be done by GPPC. Because that might take a while. If the roads are anything. By the way, Mariano, there's a lot of road work going on in Garapan right now. I thought most of that stuff was done. I don't know if that's part of a different project, but they were laying down asphalt around that intersection, which I thought was eventually going to be torn up for a roundabout anyway, over there by where Beach Road meets Micro Beach Road. I thought that was going to eventually turn into something like that, but maybe it's not. Maybe that's not happening. But I know that there's a whole lot of new asphalt that got laid down over the weekend, and there were some lanes that were closed off and everything. The whole Garapan area that they were paving, like on the Beach Road part. And so does that fall in your scope? Is that part of you guys, or is that DPW guys? Not sure, but I know they're getting it done, and it's starting to look pretty good. And it was just so smooth driving through there yesterday on our way through Garapan. All right, well, that's pretty good. Anyway, I want to say hey to you guys who are out there watching. Saw a bunch of you guys tuning in today. We're going to start getting into some of the bigger stuff. I want to say thanks again, Norman. Yeah, because you were in Pyrie. I know, right? Keith Chambers in the house. Good to see you this morning. JJ Semin, my man. Thanks for tuning in. Lay Rangamar Iguel. Good to see you this morning. Melissa, so great to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Christian, I know you got to be out there. You must have been watching with the swimmers. Good to see you. And Atau, good morning to you, the queen of all the cat gifts. You are the best. Pax Guevara, great to see you. Robbie Glass, you are the man. Robbie, the man, the myth, the legend. Dom Pangolina, thanks for tuning in this morning. Joey Dela Cruz was in the house. Ray Humel's in the house. Maybe he's got some of those answers about the roadwork stuff. I know we're going to connect and start talking about some of those things. I'm looking forward to doing that as well. Frank Rasa, good morning. My man Crispy, thank you for tuning in this morning. PJ Victoria in the house, all the way from the west coast of the U.S. of A. Thank you guys for joining us this morning and being a part of the show. All right, and over there on the Facebook, on the YouTube side, hey, I don't know what to tell you, Care Bear. The YouTube is not as fast as the feed that's coming in for Facebook. I don't know why. We're broadcasting on both at the same time, and it's just coding. I guess that'll be my answer. I don't know why it's slower. I don't know why it buffers or anything. I just know that the Facebook feed is smoother. It's not the answer you're looking for, but that's the one I got for you. So sorry. But I'm glad you're watching on YouTube. Maybe eventually we'll end up doing primarily YouTube. If we end up doing that, it'll come across a lot quicker for you. And maybe that's what we'll try it. Maybe we'll try it. We'll give people a heads up saying, hey, our primary feed will be on YouTube. And if we do that, guaranteed it's got to be faster. If we do the primary on YouTube, it's going to be YouTube will end up being faster. No doubt about it. It will be. I mean, that's just how it would work because we wouldn't be doing it on both. All right. So let's get to the some of the bigger stuff because this is stuff that's interesting to me. We talked about not on the show. I didn't do it for the show, and I didn't do it on the news service, but I posted something on my personal Facebook on, I think it was Thursday, because it was before I came back, or was it Friday? No, it was Thursday. And it was a photo of one of the maybe we should talk about with the whole conference thing and everything like that. There's a big environmental conference that happened in Saipan last week. If you didn't know about it, it happened. And there were folks all over the place at the Crown because they had the main meeting room, then they had it split up where they had folks meeting over on the other side, like in the Azucena rooms and all that stuff. So it was a pretty good size split, right? There's enough going on for the main stuff, and there was enough going on in the other side. In fact, let me pull up that whole conference. Hold on one second. The 32nd, that's it, 32nd Pacific Island Environmental Training Symposium. And it was June 9th to the 13th, so it was all last week. Excuse me. And it was at the Crown Resort, and it's the 32nd. Like, it happens every year. This one was called Weaving Strategies to Strengthen Their Resilience. And they had all kinds of different events going on. They had little fun things too. They had excursions and all that stuff. I want to so I have the whole list of everything. But again, so there were some protesters who went out there to talk about that got out there while some of the folks from Department of Defense were up there. So who was there? You had BECQ was there. Division of Environmental Quality, so DEQ, which I thought wasn't DEQ anymore, so that's still around. I thought it was BECQ and CRM. Anyway, EPA was there. Guam's EPA was there as well. They also had the Environmental Quality Protection Board from Palau. They had the EPA from Chuuk, the EPA from Pohnpei. They had the similar group from Kosrae, similar group from which one is this? That's Chuuk, from Yap and American Samoa, and I'm guessing this one I can't tell what it is. Oh, the Marshals, RMI, Environmental Protection Authority. So they have folks from all these different folks from the U.S., from the CNMI, Guam, FSM. And Marshals, and there were folks from all over who come and join this stuff, American Samoa as well. So when they put these things together, all kinds of folks come out, all kinds of folks were invited and all that stuff. And I listened, so somebody sent me a photo, and the sign that I only got one at first when I received it. And I saw this sign that said U.S. out of the Marianas, and I was just furious. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe that someone from here would have that. Now, I know that I've seen like these protester activist-y types do protests and have their little wavings and stuff like that. You know, I've seen those things, right? I get it. And I'm cool with it because, you know, freedom of speech and all that stuff. Everybody gets to say whatever. But the U.S. out of the Marianas, what are you talking about? And then afterwards, you know, I could see, I couldn't even tell from the photo who it was because it was not a great photo. I did not get that photo from a professional photographer. I could tell you that. And, but either way, so I posted it because of the sign. The sign was the one thing that I could make out because it said U.S. out of the Marianas. And I was upset. So I posted on my personal Facebook page, and it just, a simple statement said, most disappointing photo I've seen in a long time. Seems pretty benign to me. I mean, yeah. Would people also get upset about it? Well, it depends. I can't talk about that, but I can talk about, you know, what I know is that it disappointed me. It was just a photo. So then people kind of got involved in the comment section, and that kind of ran away with itself a little bit too. But, you know, the comment sections, you know, some people saying, you know, WTF. I'm like, yeah, I'm part of that club too. Like, I'm a WTF. Then I found out because people messaged me, oh, it's so-and-so. And I saw that. I'm like, oh, wow, that bothers me even more because I know that person. And I can't believe that she would say something like that, you know, and like she's a United States citizen as well. No, I just don't understand, you know, what that's all about. I was just not happy with it. And I said as much. And then some of the activist-y types out of Guam got involved in the comments too. They're like, oh, you're singling her out. I'm like, that's the only photo I got. Actually, there was a photo that I got was with her and the person who was standing next to her. And the person standing next to her, that sign, I couldn't even read the whole thing, so I didn't care as much because I couldn't really make out what that sign was. Oh, but it was about the military stuff. And so, like, I mean, I was in the military, and so I'm used to people, not everybody loves the military. That's just it. That's how it goes. And especially in that life when I was a DOD civilian here, like, I had to deal with all those activisty types too, mostly out of Guam, right? But you get the folks from here, and the folks from here, at least you have that personal connection with. And I remember when I came back from, I was posting photos when we had a conference, and we called it the FDM Summit. The Farallon de Mendonça Summit was in Rota. And we flew there, and I was posting photos of Rota. And some folks with one of the local groups who's into that activism, they were like, ooh, what are you doing in Rota? What's going on in Rota? And I could tell by their questions, like, they're like, you're trying to pry a little bit. I'm like, no, I'm here for work. Well, what are you doing for work? I'm like, well, I'll tell you what's going on for work. We're doing this thing about FDM. And I mean, there's nothing top secret going on or anything like that, but they invited a bunch of government agencies from the CNMI to Rota, and it was at Rota Resort, and we talked about FDM and what's going on at FDM, what's been going on at FDM, what's proposed over there at FDM. And it was basically just to start a good conversation between the military and the local government about all this stuff. And all these other folks came. And by the way, the worst part about it, if there was a bad part about it, was that not all the people who should have been there went. And by that, I mean, like, there's people who are higher up on the food chain who should have gone. People who would have taken better notes, and people who would have had more to, a better take on some of that stuff. But either way, a lot of people went, and it was good. Talked about all these different things about what goes on at FDM. What's going on at FDM? They bombed the crap out of it, right? There's no mystery about that. That goes back to the covenant, right? That goes back to the covenant agreement and the technical part where they leased out Tinian and FDM. And so they were talking about what's the processes and what's the real rule about how close you can get there because of the ordinance that's there, the stuff they bomb it with, the stuff that, what if it misses, the stuff overshoot and all that stuff. They talk about the birds and like how actually the wildlife over there is better than they thought. And the fishing is better, really, because you're not allowed to fish there. And that was funny because you had some of the old timers like, well, that's funny because I go fishing there all the time. You're telling me I can't go within a mile? I fish there. I'm like, oh, jeez, that was great. Don't say anymore. You don't want to get yourself in trouble. But either way, so that was happening, right? And it was a really good meeting. And then afterwards, we hopped on the planes. All these flights were chartered by the military on Star Marianas. And we flew past Saipan on our way back from Rota and went up to FDM. And we circled a lot because, when you charter it, you could kind of do anything, right? And man, I couldn't believe how many birds there were. And I couldn't believe how, because we were flying pretty low to get really good angles of it. I got a lot of good photos and videos, but like there were so many freaking birds there. I couldn't believe it because I was not used to flying where birds are above you and below you and at the same height as you. Like it was kind of like, holy crap moment. Anyway, because I had heard when I was a DOD civilian at one of the public meetings, I remember we were at Grand when it was Kanoa and Kanoa was open. I had one lady who I know really well. I know her well. We're not besties or anything like that. She's a respected person. She goes up to Pagan all the time. She even changed her residency to Pagan, like Northern Islands. And she said, yeah, that land bridge in Pagan or in FDM is bombed. You guys bombed it. I'm like, okay, do you have, and I'm like, wow. And so then, because she said that on one of the days, so that night I asked the guys from Guam, like, hey, can you get us some photos of like of FDM, and because I want to see it if that thing was like bombed or whatever, like what happened, because that's not even part of what the targeting area is, and because there's like this archway over there, and so they sent guys up to go and fly and go check it out. It's still there. So I asked her, I'm like, did you see? I'm like, well, when was it? She's like, I go up there all the time. I'm like, I know, but when was it that you saw that was? She's like, why, you don't believe me? I'm like, I'm not telling you that. Relax. I'm saying, when did you see it? Well, no, they told me like a couple weeks ago. They told me so did you see it? No. Okay. So, but no, I go up there all the time and I know it. And I'm like, okay. Well, then that next day for that same conference, I showed her photos that were taken from that day when so I called them that same day. They sent people up and took photos of it, and I had photos of it. And so anyway, then when we flew up after that FDM summit, we circled around. I took plenty of photos of that too. I'm like, so basically you got all upset and you're yelling at this meeting about this land bridge thing that was bombed and broken and all this other stuff, but it didn't happen. So like, you got that upset about something that wasn't true, that you said you saw it, but you didn't see it. And then it was, well, someone told you, but they were wrong too. Like that's why I think the communication on this stuff is tough, because it's easy. If you want to get mad at the military for doing stuff up in the Marianas, that's fine. I get it. But for something like that, like I still have, I think even on this computer, I have a lot of that FDM stuff. But that's one of the things that bothered me. And then, so I was definitely not happy about about that sign. No question about it. That sign really bothered me. I didn't like it. Not good. And all that other stuff. So I ended up speaking with the person who was in there. Yeah, here's all the videos I got for FDM. By the way, I really respect her for coming up and talking about it. And we talked about her sign, and she said, hey, but I wasn't talking about the U.S., I was talking about the military. I'm like, why didn't you write military? Well, because it's implied because I was there for the DOD portion. I'm like, well, that's not how I saw it. Those other guys who were talking about the other men and women who were there's a total of 5 people. Again, I didn't see that when someone sent me that photo. They just sent me that photo. And that's the thing that set me being unhappy. And I didn't care if there was 1,000 people there. That's the one, right? That's the sign that I saw that got me, like feeling a certain kind of way. Again, like I said, it hit different. U.S. out of the Marianas. And then, she shared that. So I'm like, all right, look, at least we can start a baseline for the rest of our conversation that we're having right now. And that conversation is that, look, you thought for sure that it would be easily discernible by anyone who saw your sign that you meant the military. And so I accept that that's what you're saying. Will you accept that when I read that, not seeing the military on there, that I did not in any way think that you were talking about the military? Can we at least start from there so that I know where everything that you have to say is coming from that square one, and you know that everything I'm going to say is coming from that as square one? Can we just agree on that that's our starting point? Yes. I'm like, all right, so now we can start to have a real conversation about it, because that's essentially what it was. And then she's like, well, I felt like you singled me out because maybe because I'm a young woman. And I'm like, oh, no, you're a person holding a sign. I thought, well, and then in the comment section, again, those activist-y types saying, oh, you're singling her out because you're trying to harass her or dox her, which is that process of like trying to identify people. I'm like, you guys are full of shit. Like, really, because that's not what this is. What it is, it's like somebody's holding a sign. What do you expect me to do? I mean, like, you're holding a sign. You're in a public place. There's no expectation of privacy. I didn't go out there and post your name, say this is where she works and this is what she does. No, it was none of that kind of stuff. And by the way, they also complained. They're like, oh, you're misusing your platform. I'm like, it's my personal Facebook page. I didn't post this stuff on the NMI News Service page or make a big deal about it and all that other stuff. Have you guys even seen me put it up here yet? No. All right. We are, but not just that photo. We're going to talk about those videos and the comments that they made and stuff like that. And it's more to talk about it because it's a worthy conversation, I think. And we just have a difference of opinion. But it's not harassing somebody. Look, if you're going to go and protest something, right? Good. Protest something. And you should. People shouldn't beat up on you and bother you because you protest something. No, that's why it's not the people in this thing for me. It's that message. And that's what that thing was. And by the way, there have been some really clear photos and some really clear videos of those folks that were not part of anything that we posted yet, right? Oh, Carrie, you missed it. Well, at least you're here now. No, the sign that I took issue with was the one that said U.S. out of the Marianas. And then there's a longer conversation, right? So it wasn't one of those, the sign, that was literally verbatim what the sign said, U.S. out of the Marianas. And my conversation with that person afterwards was that she was saying that, well, no, it was about the military and it's implied because I was there for the military part. I'm like, well, why didn't you just put the U.S. military out of the Marianas? Like, being clear with your message is important, right? I'm a marketing guy. I'm a communications guy. Like, the clarity of the message, I think, is important. But that's why it hit me. The other folks whose signs I saw afterwards and heard their message later had all kinds of military stuff in it, right? Oh, another one of the issues that she said is like, well, you didn't focus on the other people. I'm like, look, I didn't focus on the other people because they only sent me one photo. And that was it. And the other person's sign was covered up. Your sign is the one. And I didn't know it was you. Now, afterwards, again, people told me who it was. But even then, I didn't go out there just focusing on that person's identity or something like that. Again, it was the sign, the message. Now, since I have seen all the videos from in there, and they posted them themselves. So I've got them, and we want to talk about them. But she's like, well, you didn't say anything about so-and-so, she's mentioning his name. I think just because he's a man. I'm like, no, I didn't say anything about so-and-so, one, in the comments, because, I didn't have him. And I didn't care. His message isn't part of the message that had anything to do with what bothered me. He was saying his thing about like Palestine and Israel and the DOD helping Israel. I'm like, all right, well, whatever, that's your thing. I don't care about that as far as this conversation. My thing is, I wasn't there to take apart everybody's talking point and all that other stuff. I just didn't like your sign. This is your sign. You're holding it up. You believe this because you're holding it up. And I just don't like it. And I said one sentence and you got upset about it. I understand it. And I'm glad that we're talking about it. Is your first time going to do some kind of a protest thing? I don't know. And they didn't like that I said something about them wearing masks. No. Okay, I'll tell you about that too. One of the guys in the comments to the sign that said U.S. out of the Marianas, he said, well, I wonder if they could pull that off. And, tongue in cheek, I'm like, they can't even pull off their masks, And then, again, activisty butthurt stuff. They're like, don't you understand that's part of our culture of like wellness? And I'm like, oh my God, please stop. Okay, look, number one, no. Just tell the truth about that. Like you're wearing a mask because you would hope that people wouldn't recognize you. So, and that's why the other lady was wearing a mask and sunglasses, right? Because she didn't want people to be able to see who she was. And I'm not saying and I know who she was too, but it doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't mean I'm holding up, posting like this person said this, shame. No, I'm not. You guys are free to do all that other stuff, right? But when you're doing something publicly, like what I'm doing here, you open yourself up to criticism. You open yourself up to, people joking on you. I know that I've been doing this for a long time now. When you do stuff like that, you're open to that. I'm not making fun of you guys, and I'm not singling anybody out. I just didn't like the message. There you go, and that's it. But does that mean I have to hate those people? No. My God, we live together. We are on the same island. There's going to be people who don't share your point of view. That's how it works. That's life. You're an adult. You're a human being, and not everybody you're going to meet is going to agree with you on every single thing. That's it. So how are you going to go about life? You're going to go about life hating everybody? No, because that'd be a pretty crappy life. So you get to know people. You figure them out. You figure out who maybe you got some common ground, and then you focus on that. There you go. So I don't agree with all that other stuff, but it doesn't matter. Doesn't mean I hate these folks. Now, I do take issue with some of the stuff that they said, because I don't like the misrepresenting stuff. And one of those things is when you get those folks from Guam who get in to their full-on activist mode and try to bring that crap here to the CNMI. And they try to include their arguments with our arguments, and they're not the same thing. They just are not the same issues. They're not the same topics. They're like, oh, the colonizers. And oh my God, you guys, chill out. Chill out. Your gripes in Guam, you got them, and that's fine, right? But the people at the CNMI voted overwhelmingly to become a Commonwealth of the United States. That's it. That happened. The United States didn't come in here and tell everybody that you guys are going to be Americans now. No, it was a plebiscite. The people of the Marianas decided. If you're saying that it was anything different, then you're wrong. You're misrepresenting what happened. It's a different situation with how Guam became a part of the U.S. than how the CNMI became a part of the U.S. The people of the Marianas became a part of the United States after voting for it. That's it. That's it. And if you don't agree with it, that's fine. But look, you can't rewrite it just because you don't like it. If you want to change it, then actually do something. That's the thing about it. They're misrepresenting it, saying that they're just being trampled on, and nobody's talking to the locals about what's happening. The military just does what they want to do. I'm like, that's not what's happening either. You just don't know it because you're not part of it. And that could be worked on from the local government's perspective, because the way it's set up, that line of communication between the military and the government happens, and the government it shares it. Our local government and our elected leaders and our appointed leaders, they bring you guys in when they want to. That's just it. But that conversation is always happening with the military. The military is not just doing things in the Marianas. They're not just setting up stuff. All that stuff is coordinated and painfully slow, by the way. If you think things happen along fast, they don't. Not a wartime situation like 80 years ago, yeah. They came in, they beat the Japanese, and they started setting stuff up to beat the Japanese somewhere else. That's what happened, right? But with no care for the environment, or little care for the environment, for sure. That absolutely happened. But now for every little thing they do, it's so slow. There's so much. They've hired so many environmentalists, and a lot of times they hire them. They're not like forever government employees. That once they get in there, they stay there. But they get a lot of these guys who work for the local governments, who are working against them, actively saying, "I don't like this. I don't like this. I don't like this." And then they become part of that military program, and they learn about, holy crap, well, at least they're doing it. And while they're in there, they hold those guys accountable to hey, according to this regulation, we have to do this. And they do it. I saw a guy who works for DOD in the environmental group. And we were doing some stuff with the Australian Special Forces in Tinian. He broke down and this thing had gotten cleared for environmental stuff before, Like they had the dogs come in, check for snakes, and they went through looking for bugs and all that other stuff and all that. And this guy was crawling underneath looking for everything, and he found like a couple of pieces of grass, like old grass that was in there. And he's like, "No, we got to take this apart." And so he started taking off like these little fender pieces on little ATVs. He's like, "No, we got to get in here." And they ended up like taking because these badass SUVs had gone somewhere, or not SUVs, but ATVs, the four-wheelers. And they like got some grass stuck in there, and that even with all the power washing, they didn't get that. And this guy ended up getting all this stuff out, some dirt and some stuff. And why is that a big deal? Ooh, because there might be some seeds in there that might take root over here, and it would be an invasive seed. That's how serious these guys take this job. Like, I'm telling you, these are some real granolas, but they're working for the DOD, right? They work, they live there. And those are people who are actively doing something to work for it. They're not just bitching, they're actually doing stuff. And I mean that, like there's a time and a place for everything, but these guys actually do the work to work for the environment. They actually do it. They're there. I'm telling you, when I got such a different level of appreciation meeting these folks and working with them. Now, are they all great? No. There's probably some duds out there too, guaranteed. But I think that's everywhere. You can only be so great, but they only try to bring in the best, right? And they're not looking for people who give them rubber stamps. These are folks, they want people who are going to be diligent about doing their job so that when they meet with local governments, they have a leg to stand on. And they want those folks from those local government agencies to work with those guys so they could tell them about these things. Tell them about these concerns that they have about these other things. Now, did the military do some things out here in the Pacific that caused some issues? Understatement, yes. Hell yes, the world was a different place 80 years ago. There's a world war going on out here. And also, the U.S. wasn't really a big Pacific power back then either. And they started coming out here and doing some stuff. And they're like, ooh, we got this new toy. Let's start blowing these things up all over the place and see how this stuff works. Yeah. Ask the folks from the Marshalls. Ask the folks from out here. Let's talk about cancer rates and all that stuff. Hell yeah. I totally get it. I totally get it. But with regards to things like this, they are working with them. Like one of the ladies who was giving her protester comments was like, she said that it was offensive that the military was at this environmental conference. They are the biggest polluters. They are the worst at this. They're the worst at this. It's offensive. I'm like, look, the DOD did not rush in here and force their way into this conference. They were invited into this conference. And if you're talking about environmental protection for the region, and you've got the military doing things in the region, wouldn't you want to have the military held accountable for what they're doing? And wouldn't you want them to have a seat at that table to talk about that stuff? You say that it's offensive to have them there? Smoking crack. I mean, like, this is where we differ. You can't just not have the military here. They're here. They're in the waters. They're doing stuff. They lease 2/3 of Tinian. They've got some land still here and in Rota. And we know about Guam and that all at FDM. And you're going to be talking about environmental things, and you're not even going to have them join the conference? The heck you thinking? You just close your eyes, or put your fingers in your ears, close your eyes, and say, no. No, you got to listen to them. And if they say something that's messed up, you take issue with it. You listen to it. You have to listen, says the guy who's doing all the talking. But you have to listen, and you have to have them there. You can't just shut off other people because you don't agree with what's going on. You're not going to get anywhere. We're not going to get anywhere. So let's they talk about, they use terms like hyper militarization. That's horseshit. You know, like that's I know. I'm a little caustic on that. I know. I'll give you that. That's not very nice. And I hope I didn't turn you off to the rest of the conversation for that. But I mean, it is hyper militarization. What is that crap? It's such a dumb thing. Like, yes, I'm not being friendly. It is dumb. It's a dumb phrase. And that's not, they're actually doing something. That's it. You're talking about, they're, now they're expanding in Rota. I'm like, no, they're not. The people in the CNMI asked for some additional support as well with regards to the THAAD missile batteries to shoot down things that might fly over in this region. There you go. Rota works. And you want to do it over there? They're like, can you do it over here? Can you give us some protection too? They said, sure. And I get it. Not everybody wants it. Not everybody wants all of it. I know. That's why you have those conversations. Your elected leaders could say no. You have to be the one to tell them no. And they have to agree with you. And there has to be enough of them. You guys don't want that stuff. You got to do it. But, my experience with this is the loudest activists about the military here specifically, and also in Guam, are people who don't have a seat at the table. They're not the people who are informed. They're the people who are informed in the topics and the talking points that they want to push. And I don't know that it's purposefully, but they don't have a job that brings them to those meetings, right? So they're not included. And the flow of communication does not get to them about what's going on. And so they get more upset about it. And they feel disenfranchised. And that's why they go to those things. Because the people who are involved, even if they don't like it, they know that there's stuff that's happening the right way. As far as at least the conversations are happening, that stuff's not just happening in the dark. Sure, does the military get on like one track and really try to push it? Yeah, they do, guaranteed. But if they can't get it, they can't get it. And then they move on. Like, that's how that stuff works. And they're dedicated to it. It's not as simple as they go to a table one day, everybody meets, they say, hey, we want to do this. Okay, we're cool with this, no with this, and then we're good. No, it's a long process, and all this stuff takes long. It takes a long time. And that's what this stuff, when they start coming up about this week is the environmental impact statement, the draft for that, and the stakeholders meeting is going to be this week. And you know what? Those activist-y types aren't going to be a part of that. And they're going to be upset because they're not included. But they're not included. They're not excluded because they want to get stuff done. They want to have things. They want to have productive meetings. And people who just complain don't do anything. They have no function other than to express their dissatisfaction. The people, though, who have a working role in holding people accountable to different standards, they are included. That's it. I'm not discounting people's voices. That's important. If you're not happy, you should, again, you can express yourself, and you should. If you're not happy that you're not getting that message from your local government, then friggin' tell them. Tell them, I'm telling you, if you're not happy because you don't like that you're not getting the information from your leaders, you friggin' tell them. Tell them. Don't yell at the other guys. I mean, you can, I guess. You can do whatever you want. But tell the people that you elected to go there and say, hey, look, I have this organization. My whole organization is about trying to preserve the environment for the next generation. Outstanding. What a noble cause. I want to know more about this, Gov. I want to know more about this director so-and-so. I want to know more about this secretary and so-and-so. Will you help me? And if they say no, that they won't, that's who you can absolutely argue with and protest against too. In addition to what you're doing. If it's your job to help with this stuff, they help with that stuff. These are folks, this is not their job. These are folks who are recreational folks. They listen to some of these folks, and they take some of this stuff as gospel, and I think they're listening to the wrong people. But hey, people get passionate about stuff. And they should. That was another thing. We got to start with, what do we have in common? Again, I don't hate any of these people. I don't even dislike them. I just don't agree with a lot of them. I think one of them's kind of mean-spirited, particularly among the pale skin community. But her aside, even with her, right? Even with that lady whose name's not involved, and she wasn't there even. She was there in the comments. I can find something in common with her, that we both care about the islands. That's a great place to start from. Find a place where you can start from to have whatever the conversation is going to be next. And it'll make it easier, because when you start to get a little ornery about these things, like, oh, wait, you got that in common. So you can't be that much of a